All right, greetings everyone. This is STG Weekly, episode number 36, and this one is going to be on Deathsmiles on the Xbox 360 and arcade. Came out in 2007. It's also the second horizontal game by Cave after Pro Gear, and the first Cave game to be released in the United States. It's a gothic Lolita gothic horror themed shmup, and it's pretty awesome. And we're gonna be talking about Deathsmiles today, and actually gonna be getting pretty in depth, but also covering the basics with Deathsmiles Vanilla, which is the regular Deathsmiles, and also gonna be covering Deathsmiles Mega Black Label, which is included on the Xbox 360 port, and the Mega Black Label came out a year after the first version of Deathsmiles. The two different versions have pretty significant differences in their scoring systems, and we will discuss that. And so this week, actually joined by Tyjet Poison. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hi.
And he's pretty good at Deathsmiles. He's going to be really giving us a lowdown today about what we're going to be looking at and why these replays are awesome, and kind of what's going on. I'm also joined by Jeneki. Actually, last time you were on the Under Defeat episode. That was, like 15 episodes ago or something like that. So, hey, how's it going, man?
Yep, pretty good. Glad to be back.
Yeah, and so you have some experience with this game as well, so I just thought it'd be kind of good to have a couple of you guys on here for the various questions that may arise. But, so yeah, Deathsmiles. It's, well, I don't know, why don't we, okay, so yeah, we are going to be watching some super plays here, and these super plays are pretty much close to world record scores, but before we actually, get into kind of exactly what the heck these guys are doing, we will talk about kind of the basics of Deathsmiles and just how the gameplay is. So, Tyjet, would you kind of want to start from just the real basics of Deathsmiles as far as, the movement and controls and the different characters? And
Yeah, so basically this is a horizontal shooter which you're able to shoot left and right. You have 4 different characters, each with a different shot type and speeds. Each character also has an option that also has their own a different shot type. There's 8 different stages. 6 of those stages have selectable ranks, and 1 being optional. And this is also a 3-button game, so using the control layout for the joystick, A, B, and C, A is to shoot and laser left, B is to shoot and laser right, and C is for bomb. If you press A and B at the same time, lockshot is initiated, and you also go into power up mode. Granted that your item counter is at a certain value. So that's basically it.
okay, yeah, those are the basic controls.
Mhm.
I guess, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the basic stuff. That's how you play. Yeah, what do you want to go into next then, I suppose?
Yeah, we could start the video, so I mean.
Oh, right away?
Yeah.
Well,
If
okay,
you want.
okay, why don't you discuss kind of the scoring system a bit as far as the items that drop from the enemies, and why or what type of shot you're going to be destroying enemies with, and why that's good.
Yeah, so basically the scoring system heavily depends on what kind of shot type you use on some enemies. It helps build up the counter and also ups your scores. But basically I will get into this into detail later when we get into the video.
Okay.
So it's very complex. The scoring system is pretty complex without, showing the video. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's really complex.
So I don't know. Why don't we just talk about the power up thing? So you collect items, and when you collect the various skulls and whatnot, you get up to 1,000. And so when you power up, what is happening when you enable the power up mode when you get to 1,000?
You actually, any bullets that are on screen turn into gold crowns, and you also have base. You also have twice as much. You're also causing twice as much damage, and yeah, I mean, like I said before, we will have to start the video in order for me to describe. So
Okay, yeah, sure. Why don't we just do that, and that'll help us out. Kind of describe this. So, yeah, like I say before, these are very high scoring replays, and we're going to try our best to kind of describe what's going on. Yeah, so I mean, Deathsmiles, it's a very score intensive. It can be a very score intensive game, but you can also just play it, just for survival and enjoy it as well, of course. But as as the trend was kind of, the trend is with most cave games, especially the later ones, they have very deep scoring systems with a lot big scores. So we're going to be seeing definitely some techniques. So all right, so I'm pretty excited to hear you guys kind of get into kind of what's going on in this replay. I don't know why don't we start it out, because we do have these are pretty long replays we'll be looking at today. So yeah, indeed. All right, so I'll do a countdown. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, click, and then we'll be on our way. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
The option when you push down when you're selecting your character lets you skip the tutorial. So I know it's written in Japanese, but I figured that out one day. That's all that does. I love this introduction.
Like, what even killed them there?
Well, they were terrorizing the little kids.
Oh.
So yeah, so like I said before, you have the ability to shoot left and right. The graphic interface on this game is, if you look on top, there's a purple bar. It actually shows what character you are, whether or not if you're on the 1-player side or the 2-player side. It shows your score, shows how many lives you have, and it shows the number of bombs that you also have at the moment. On the lower left-hand corner, you also have an item counter, which will glow yellow when it reaches to 1,000, indicating that you can actually go into power up.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, so this person is just basically going into level 3 into the port stage, and basically he's just using the stage to get his counter to 1,000. Once you get to 1,000, enemies will start shooting gold crowns. So hence, it will start building up your overall counter.
Okay, and then the overall counter, is that the number that's represented whenever you pick up a crown next to the character? That plus?
Yes,
it's a number?
Yeah, it's a hidden value that comes up whenever you collect an item.
Right. And then I'm trying to remember, do you get that to 10,000? And then you want to start powering up and all that?
You want to yes and no. You want to have it at a certain value, and I don't know how to describe this. So basically, I guess I'll start with the item values. A gold crown is actually worth 10. A medium-sized value is worth 5, and a small item is worth 1. So in normal mode, when you're not in power-up mode, the item value is going to add to your item counter, and once your item counter is maxed out, it'll start adding it to your overall counter. So let's just say that if you max out your item counter to 1,000, then if you collect 2 gold crowns, 20 will be added to your overall counter.
Okay. So he's always going to be trying to get that item counter maxed out before he goes into power mode, and then he's going to want to go into power mode.
Yes.
To actually have everything added to the overall counter, which he just added a crap load to it. Now it's at 6,000. It looks like there. Okay.
Yes. So, but
powered up this time.
Yeah, you want to get it to when you're in power up mode, all the items are going to be at the same value. And so what you want to do is you want to break as many items as you can, because once you get to 5,000 on your overall counter, every item will be worth about, I believe, 50. No wait, 20. So
Okay,
if
so
you
it's
are
more lucrative to let them hit the ground there and turn into the little skulls.
yes.
Okay.
If you're in normal mode, then it's much more beneficial for you to collect them at full value. So don't break them.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
That's one of the things I really like about this game is, unlike a lot of games where you want to all point blank all the time, this one actually has some interesting range play where sometimes it's good to be close, sometimes it's good to be farther away, or it also depends on the terrain, like if you can break them, or if there's just a bottomless pit there.
So, we didn't really discuss this too much, but you want to destroy the certain enemies with certain shots. So I know as a general guideline, you want to use the auto shot on the small enemies, like these eyeballs, to get the better item, and the lock or the your laser shot on the bigger enemies. And then there are some exceptions. And then there's also the certain enemies that you want to use the lock-on shot, which is A plus B, to get the bigger items. And does that change from regular mode to power-up mode, depending on what items you get?
Yes, it depends. I mean, so the general rule that that I would use is for smaller enemies, just shoot them with your shot. For bigger and medium-sized enemies, just going to use laser on them. When you go into power-up mode, start lasering the smaller enemies and lock-shocking the medium and larger enemies. So it's...
Oh, really? Okay.
It's incredibly detailed how you have to finesse your way through with the shot types with different enemies. And that's part of the fun with this game, is trying to figure out what to use for the what kind of shot to use on the enemies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
So basically, it's very, like I said again, it comes into scoring when you have to build up your counter. If you use the wrong shot type on an enemy, you might get a couple of skulls. But if you use the right shot, if you use the correct shot on an enemy, then you will have a couple of tiaras or heart lockets.
And I think that just happened there with that the plant tentacle. He actually got some crowns to come out of that because he's using what's it called? The target? It's actually called target magic, isn't it?
I go by lock shot.
Lock shot. Okay, so then we'll just refer to the laser as the laser, and then the auto shot. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm not that clear. So.
I'm just making sure to clarify there.
Yeah, like right there, his position was perfect, where the crowns that were going to fall off the cliff and go off the screen, he caught before they fell off, but the crowns that were going to hit the ground, he let hit the ground until they break up. And
Jesus, I didn't even know this many items could occur in vanilla.
Oh yes, once you build your overall counter to 10,000, then you go into what is called fever mode. And that's basically when your plus value, your overall counter starts turning orange, which you would see on the screen, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and that's when you would want to use the correct shot on the enemies, and for them to produce gold crowns.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One other thing that he just did there, when you're in hyper mode, you can fly through enemies and it won't hurt you. Otherwise, when you're not in hyper, if you fly into an enemy, you'll take half a bar of damage.
That's a good tip. Jesus.
Yeah, this game just craps items everywhere. I sometimes describe this game to people as an item diarrhea game.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, so what he did was a bomb recharge. Basically, it's just another deviation of a recharge. What you want to do is, before you get out of power-up mode, you want to create as many items on screen and then collect them right after you get out of power-up mode, so that you can get your item counter back to 1,000.
If I recall correctly, the last 100 before your power-up mode is about to enter, you actually get more items. Is that part of why the trick works? Or am I wrong about that? I thought there was something to that.
Say that again?
When your power-up mode is about like going from 100 to 0, do you get actually more items at that point?
Here he's using a safe spot.
I see.
Yeah. He's basically on the IVs. He was just using the correct shot on them to create the maximum amount of crowns.
Okay.
So maximum amount of items that the IVs can produce. So.
Yeah, that particular boss has a safe spot right there that you won't get hit if you know about it. Otherwise, that last section is not all that easy. Because I think because you have the really bright pink bullets and then you've got the really dark apples you also have to dodge, it gets rather hectic.
Right. So what's he doing right here exactly?
Okay, so basically he, on the last stage, remember when we were talking about the IVs and how he kind of lock shot them and created a lot of bullets? Well, what happened was that when he did that, he also, when he filled up his item counter to 1000, he also once that item counter gets filled, then the items will start adding to the overall counter. And so he built up his overall counter to about 9,000 when he got to the boss, after he got exited out of the boss. And so when he went to the volcano stage, he's now at maximum. The over counter is now at max, and now he's just milking out these rocks. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but going into this stage, if you compare his score when he starts this stage to the score when he gets to the end of the downward scrolling section, it's quite a bit higher. Just due to all the milking you can do in this part. One other thing that's kind of nice to know is the terrain in this game. You can fly into terrain. Since this is a downward scrolling section, you'll see sometimes people will hug the walls quite a bit, but flying into a wall will not hurt you in this game. And also, if you allow yourself to be trapped inside of something and then that part scrolls off the screen, how that would normally crush you and kill you in most games, this game does not do that. They'll just kind of push you out.
Right. It is nice.
Yeah, so he's spent pretty much the whole stage here in hyper.
Yeah, because he keeps on using the bomb recharge trick, right?
Yes.
So now he's getting the item count to 1,000 again. That's what he's trying to do.
Yes.
Right. And then he's gonna power up probably in the boss, I would imagine. Or
I
wait.
don't think.
Okay.
I don't think that he does it on this boss.
Okay.
So.
Like right there, it just kind of pushed him out because he was still behind the rock when it scrolled off the screen.
So is there any special milking that goes on during the bosses, or are they mostly straightforward?
It's pretty much straightforward dodging. The only milking that I can think of is if you were to go into power-up mode, then all the bullets that the boss is spitting out will turn into gold crowns.
Okay. So just straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty much straightforward dodging. It's simple stuff.
Or I suppose if you've got death mode and you want to milk the suicide bullets, you could do that as well, but probably get into that later when the death mode happens.
Yeah, death mode is when you actually choose level 3 5 times.
And that's when the suicide bullets start coming?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. Return bullets, suicide bullets, whatever.
They're annoying as hell, but...
yeah, the game changes quite a bit at that point.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the primary reason why I almost always take Windia when I'm playing this game and I know I'm going to trigger death mode. Because her familiar stays like right next to you most of the time, unlike Rosa and Fallet, theirs are kind of further away. And also it kind of moves the way I want, where, you know, Casper's, hers kind of moves in the opposite direction I want it to. So Windy is the only character I'm really good at absorbing the suicide bullets with.
Right. Yeah, they all have a slightly different manipulation of the options, so it's definitely something to consider. And here's death mode.
Yep, those are those yellow star-shaped bullets.
Yep.
That your familiar can absorb them.
This is also called as Death Mode Level 1, which is the first level of Death Mode. So it's just basically really not that many bullets, going at a very slow speed.
Yeah, I know Death Mode is actually one of my favorite parts about this game, because once you're actually manipulating your familiar to absorb lots of stuff, it kind of adds a whole new dimension to it and makes it, you know, kind of like a R-type style game at that point. I enjoy it a lot.
So absorbing bullets, does that add something to a counter, or what does that do anything extra besides save you? I forget.
Every suicide bullet that you absorb will add 1 point to your item counter and to your overall counter, depending on if you're in normal mode or in power-up mode.
Okay, so it's just good to do.
Mm-hmm. Just eat the bullets.
Okay, so right, kind of when he's down at the bottom here, when your familiar fires a shot and then you move up and down, you can kind of curve those little round bullets that she shoots. So that's how she was able to destroy the enemies at the top of the screen, even though she was at the bottom.
Sometimes it's a good thing to suicide in this game to replenish your bombs, which is what he just did.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah. So sometimes if you see a person suiciding for no apparent reason, that's typically why. And if you do lose a life, you do lose 30% of your counter. So.
That's what's the item counter of the original one, and then item counter, overall counter. So is it both counters, or which one is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's your item counter. If you will lose 30%, and your overall will set to 0.
Okay.
If you are in both a normal and power up mode.
Okay. Ah, yes, Mary. Everyone loves Mary.
I really don't know why they put a cow in this game. I don't know where she ties into the story, but she's in here.
It's so big. Wow. But does it feed the whole village, or Alright, so he's going in here with getting the item counter up. He's got his power-up thingy ready to go. Almost at 1,000. Okay, and now here he goes. Getting the overall counter up now, as you can see. Cool.
Yep. Just breaking the items and building the overall counter to reach fever mode.
So, did you say in fever mode, you want at that point you actually want to switch what shot type you use to kill enemies?
Yeah, some enemies will, not most. Some enemies will require a different shot type for you to produce the maximum amount of jewelry.
And that's the same in just the regular power-up mode too, isn't that right? Like the shot types you kill enemies with will alter slightly the items that will produce. Is that right too, or is it the same as the non-power-up mode for the most part?
Like I said, it's gonna be different if you're in normal mode and in power-up mode.
Okay, yeah. So it is. Okay, cool. So there's a bunch of exceptions depending on, so if you're in regular, then power-up mode, and then fever mode.
Yes.
So let's clarify that. That seems pretty important for the scoring.
I love how you just destroy a car in this part. Hey, they had magic in the back seat.
Yeah. Was all you had to do was destroy that to get that extra bomb? Was there anything?
It really depends on what kind of route you take. I don't remember off the top of my head. So, but if you choose the swamp as the last stage, a bomb will appear.
Okay.
So it really, life items and bomb items really depend on what really will show up depending on what route you choose. So,
Okay. Alright, so yeah, I feel like we got a good grasp on the scoring system now, so kind of get to enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, and you have, and just keep notes and to know, just know that the players stop kind of going into power-up mode and halfway through this stage. Because remember, what I said is every suicide bullet that you collect, it will add 1 to either your overall counter or your item counter.
Gotcha.
All right, here's where we can make our choice if we want to play the canyon stage or skip it and go straight to the final stage. That'll be after this cutscene.
Yeah, the only reason why you would want to go into the canyon is to actually raise up your rank, because if you activated death mode level 1 on the during the first 6 stages, and if you go into the canyon, then death mode level 2 would be activated. So,
Right.
And as you can see, there are a ton of suicide bullets in death mode level 2.
Yep. When it gets really fun now.
Yeah, it gets really fun. Oh my gosh. But basically what you want to do for this stage is to build up that overall counter by eating these suicide bullets and just max out your overall counter.
Yeah, I should probably note I almost always skip the canyon stage because it kicks my ass that bad. It's a very tough stage. The bump in difficulty is rather severe from the first 6 to the canyon if you play them all at level 3.
Definitely. I remember I was practicing this for a while when I was playing the game, but then I'd get to the next stage. Oh, I never made it an actual run, but get the next stage, and then it was just like too much. Like, because you kind of got to have all the placements kind of figured out to actually protect yourself in this stage. Kind of a lot to kind of remember.
You really have to like stagger your shooting, because if you start shooting a lot of these enemies, then you're gonna have a shit ton of suicide bullets everywhere, and it just gets too intense.
Okay, yeah.
You're wondering why he probably bombed the dog on this mid stage. It's because if you quickly destroy the boss, then you have all these extra enemies that are gonna show up, creating a lot more suicide bullets.
Oh, great! Yeah. It's like a shmup trademark when you kill like a boss too early. You got some extra enemies for you.
Yeah, it's a technique that a lot of people use because you're so weak in this game that you don't kill things in time. So.
Okay.
So now his item counter is maxed out at 10,000. I mean, no, not the item counter. The overall counter is now maxed out, and all he's doing is eating those bullets.
And is that giving him a significant score then at this point?
Yes. The reason behind it is that if you rank during death mode, the number of suicide bullets greatly outweigh the number of items being produced by the enemies.
Oh.
So, so what you want to do is, I mean, all you need to do is just eat these bullets and eat as much as you can, because that's basically what happens from now on is that.
Alright, the game changes, and then so they just straight up just end up being worth more than all the skulls and crowns and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tricky part. Yeah, definitely had a careful little dodge there. It's kind of nice. It's nice. This is a super play.
Yep. Here's something I kind of like to do with a lot of the characters is you can kind of hide behind terrain like that and then use your familiar to poke out and shoot things with that while you're kind of safe when all the bullets are bouncing off terrain.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah. That was our Gears of War segment there.
Cover. Take cover.
Upcoming is a boss that I like to deem the wall, because it's pretty much, that's what it is a wall in the game.
And by that you mean a really difficult section that you're probably gonna die a lot at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just wait for the next pattern. It's stupid.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to keep on shooting this this dragon on the right side, and just keep on shooting it.
Wow.
Because the other one the other one moves about, but this one it just stays put at the corner of the screen. So bomb if you need to, because if you do lose a life, then your overall counter resets back to 0, meaning that you gotta rebuild your overall counter again.
Yeah, bombing's much preferred.
Exactly.
If it's only a third cut or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you went through the first 6 stages and you initiated Death Mode Level 1 and you went to the Canyon stage, you have now unlocked Death Mode Level 3, which is basically the highest strength that you can get out of the game. And it's just basically a lot of suicide bullets going at a very fast speed.
Yeah, this stage could be the whole game, like, by itself.
Yes.
It's just so crazy.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
And it's got multiple sections too. Actually, just like it's like a kind of a, like a 5-1, 5-2, 5-3 type of thing, right? Is there 3 sections or?
The castle stage?
Yeah, this one.
It's actually in 2 sections. You have the actual castle and then a ballroom stage.
The ballroom, right? It goes to the ballroom. Yeah.
So again, your score is very highly dependent on how many bullets you collect, suicide bullets that you collect, and yeah.
Yeah, this is really awesome to watch now.
Yeah. If you notice going into the stage, he had around 310 million. Now he's already up to 340. So as long as he doesn't take a hit here, he's going to be just ridiculously high by the time he gets to the end.
A general rule to know, about suicide bullets is that they typically generate within the enemy graphic. So, and it's like basically a random spray.
Ooh, that's beefy.
There are a couple larger enemies that will just make suicide bullets appear all over the screen, but they're not all that common.
God, that's bad.
You really want to stand like maybe 1 or 2 characters away from the enemies. Otherwise, sometimes the suicide bullets will surround you, and they'll come from all the different directions.
Right.
This is probably the number one reason why I don't like to play this game. Actually, Deathsmiles Vanilla is because of this scoring loophole, as you can say.
Where you just get so much score from this last stage.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's just like, you can't really go into power-up mode or use lock shot. All you're doing is just basically shooting left and right.
Just this, but you don't think this is enough fun?
Oh, it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the black label or the 1.1 mode where using the lock shot will increase your counter instead of decrease it?
Yeah, that's the thing that I kind of neglected to say is that if you're using lock shots, if you are locked onto an enemy physically, then your item counter will start decreasing. If that's what you mean.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it was the 1.1 mode that was on the 360 version, where one of them, when you're locked onto it, instead of decreasing it, it increases instead. where they swapped it around.
Alright, so yeah.
And then you can build up to a hyper even in a boss fight when there are no items to collect.
Yeah, so he's gained 150 million since the beginning of this stage. About. Which, yeah. As per usual, like a lot of cave game last stages, like gets a lot of the score in the last stage. Some of the really scoring intensive ones, I think, at least. Oh yeah, there's some slowdown.
Yeah, you want to use the slowdown to your advantage to dodge the pile of bullets.
Yeah, this stage is epic with like the choir song and all that. Gotta love it. Male choirs make everything epic. Especially when it comes to gothic horror. Dang. Oh man.
I mean, don't get me wrong with like this bullet eating thing. I mean, you could perfectly go through this stage with power-ups and using the correct shot on enemies and such, but
Yeah.
your score is not going to be this high.
Right.
It's not going to.
So if you weren't, you can't just like kind of jump right into this upper echelon of basically scoring strategy. Like, you'd probably want to originally start actually like playing the stage, not non-death perhaps, just so you know what's going on. Of course, but this guy, of course, yeah, he's played this game extensively.
Oh yeah, if you because you can choose like level 1 twice and level 2 twice, and then only do 2 level 3s, and then skip the canyon, and the game is fairly tame.
Yep.
I think it's fairly new player friendly, where even newer players have a decent chance of, if they practice a little bit, to finish the game.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, when you start looking up all the scoring stuff and realize, oh wow, there's a lot more to this.
Right.
It's the new gateway drug.
All right. So, gonna be straightforward once again here. So,
Yeah,
so I guess I'd assume this boss battle is harder, and the other ones are harder when you're on death mode. Is that correct?
What do you mean by that?
Like, is there more bullets that they fire? Like if you're doing EX or whatever at this point?
They do. Yeah, they have a little bit. The higher the rank, there's going to be a little bit more phases to the bosses.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's just say that. Yeah. So let's just say that if you went through level 1s and 2s during the first 6 stages, and then you didn't do the canyon stage, this boss will only have one phase, which is this phase right here.
Okay. So at this point, we're gonna see like everything that he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those bosses where if you don't bomb at all during the fight, you can get some extra life up items.
Oh, nice.
2 to be exact.
Yep. Yeah, so if you can at all help it, try not to bomb, unless you think you're going to lose more than 2 lives in the process. This phase right here will never happen unless you play through the game on level 3, and it's rather intense.
So, yeah, basically what he's doing right now, he's gathering all the bullets, so he can turn those into gold crowns for some extra points. So essentially milking out this boss, and then suiciding.
I'm the bullet maker. I love bullets.
Yeah, this is the pattern I tend to use, where you just kind of go top to bottom during it. That seems to be the best way I've figured out how to handle this part, at least.
Yeah, essentially you just want to hide under the first bomb icon, or the last third digit in your score, and just go up and down on this attack. You don't want to use lock shot on this guy because if you do, then your item counter will start decreasing.
There, he got the point item right away, so it didn't even appear on the screen. Or, I'm sorry, the life item.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Sorry.
I heard it. Yeah, I was like, wait.
This boss has the best name ever. It's Tyranno Satan.
Yep. I'd never heard of a dinosaur Satan until this game, so it's kind of original.
This part is very tricky until you kind of learn what not to do. Because if you shoot those boxes coming out, they just spam bullets everywhere. Every time you're like there where you're shooting it, see all the bullets everywhere. So you want to not just hold down the trigger during this section. And in this part here, those dark areas on the screen will only shoot bullets at you if you cross into them. It's kind of difficult to see, but it's those little dark blue circles in the background.
Oh man, those claws.
He's giving you a hand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Literally. Many hands, in fact. He really wants to help you out. To die. He was still alive.
he just jumped out of his belly there or something.
Oh, nice. Oh, he's powered up. There we go.
There. So see, he got about 270 million on that stage.
That's pretty nuts.
Yep. There's also an end bonus on this at the end. So basically, it would be you get 1 million per bomb. You also it's 130 multiplied by the number of lives that you have times 500, and for the item counter, you have 50,000 times the item counter that you ended with, and all that gets added up to your ending score.
Okay. The song.
Yeah, it's such a happy song.
Just a nice guy singing for you. Oh yeah, then yeah, it's like the multiple endings. Sweet.
I
That was, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if this bothers anyone else, but when I play a lot of Windy in this game, the sound it makes when she fires, when her familiar fires the little round bullets, it kind of goes wah 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 wah. And when you listen to that for like a couple hours straight, it begins to grate on your nerves a little bit. Then I have to start turning the volume down a bit.
And we have an ending score of...
Oh, yeah, the end bonus was pretty big, huh?
Yeah, it's really large, so you want to preserve as much as you can at the end.
Yeah, it was like maybe 30, 40 million there.
That's pretty significant.
Yep.
All right, so that's Deathsmiles Vanilla. Awesome, that was a great replay. Who's the player on that one?
The player was DMT.
DMT.
He's number 1 in the arcade mode for the Japanese Deathsmiles.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. So we'll be moving on to Deathsmiles Mega Black Label. Is there anything you want to preface? Kind of general things and how the scoring system changed before we get into the replay. Just very basic things. Otherwise, we can just get into the replay pretty quickly.
Yeah. So just a quick introduction is Black Label introduces a new character, new stage, higher difficulty, and gameplay balances. So I mean, whatever you see in Deathsmiles, any like suicide bullets are now like are very useless basically. So, but basically the gist of it. So you can start the video if you like.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm having a little difficulty at the moment.
There's also an extra stage, which I'm sure they'll play in this replay because it's worth an obscene number of points.
All right, give me a moment.
No problem.
My Black Label video was in fact not...
As with most Black Labels, you get more bullets, more point items, and just gigantic scores compared to what you used to be seeing. Like the scores will go into billions in this one instead of just the millions. You know, we got some Dr. Evil planning here.
So is a lot of the kind of concepts of destroying enemies with a certain shot, is that going to carry over to Black Label for the most part?
Yes, it will definitely carry over. So a lot of the things that we just saw on the original Deathsmiles, you're going to be using on Mega Black Label.
Okay, and yeah, just as for the changes come up, I'll have you explain that. I think I'm ready to go. All right, I shall do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, click, and we'll be good to go. All right, 3, 2, 1, click. So yeah, why don't you talk about level 999? What's that about?
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. Level 999 is... Yeah, level 9 is just basically for masochists.
Oh,
but,
what was that, Soda?
It looks like a black screen on my side, so I'm fixing the video.
Should we pause?
I'm gonna fix the screen. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe just start over since we just started it.
Yep, that's fine. So you want to just go ahead and talk about level 999?
Yeah, level 999 just introduces more bullets, color changes, higher difficulty. When you're in level 999, you are automatically in death mode. It's actually different from the other death modes. It's called death mode level 999. But it's just basically a lot of speeding bullets. Suicide bullets are coming at you.
Hey, Soda, are you trying a different player? Because maybe you're having the same problem I did. It didn't
I know
run.
exactly what the problem was. I just made a mistake.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's fixed now, so I'm ready to go.
All right, let's get our level 999 on then. All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay, you did start your video over, right?
Yes,
Yes.
at
Okay.
0. So who's the player on this? And so in this, yeah, this is close to a world record. Who's the player though?
JUM.
Okay, JUM.
Would that be gum?
Perhaps.
Also in Mega Black Label, there's an extra character, Sakura, who was the boss from one of the stages originally. And if you play on her, her familiars are a lot like Windia. So I find Sakura very easy to play, but she has 2 familiars, so I don't know. You could sort of call her a cheese character, I suppose.
Yeah, she blocks the bullets pretty well.
Yeah, she's really she's basically an easy character to get into because of a number of options. I mean, you could absorb the suicide bullets much better. She's also very powerful too, so you could actually kill some of these enemies fairly quickly, and some bosses too.
So you are able to go into power up mode at 500 and 1000
Yes.
in this one.
Yes, that is one of the biggest changes in this game, is that you are able to go into power up mode fairly quickly by building your item counter to 500 instead of 1000. So in level 999, if you go into power up mode at 500, all the bullets will turn into small items, and if you power up from 1000, then all bullets will turn into medium-sized items.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
You know you're doing the score well when you get your first extend like a minute into the game.
It's always a good sign.
Yes.
Wow, it's crazy how much hurting he's doing.
Yeah, what he just did was basically another recharge method where he just uses the options a projectile, that little white scrolly thing, to produce a lot of items. So it'll produce as items as long as it stays on screen.
Wait, so how does the option do that? Or
Whenever you're in power-up mode, the option will start producing items.
oh,
So yeah,
okay.
and when you're in the boss fight, you are able to build up your item counter by rapidly clicking the shot button.
Then I noticed the overall counter counts to it counts higher this time though.
Yes,
than
it goes
vanilla.
from, yeah, it basically, they increase the overall counter to 100,000.
Okay.
So, and it's also shown at under the item counter on the lower left hand corner of the screen.
Here he's gonna hurt up a lot of bullets before he goes into his hyper here. There he goes. And here's where he's flying through guys right there, which you can do when you're in your hyper mode. And here's where the terrain will push him out again right there.
Yeah, you want to use the terrain, the landscaping on this game to protect yourself from the bullets. This way you're able to actually shoot your projectile and milk out the enemies.
And there's the second extend.
The other thing that you may notice is that Windia is, if you play Mega Black Label, the characters are much more powerful, and they shoot out more projectiles. So like in the first game, Windia will only produce 3 projectiles, versus in Mega Black Label, she will produce about 8 on screen.
Yeah, just a little bit of slowdown.
Jeez. Probably like 2,000 sprites right there. If I had to guess. It's like, how many sprites does it take? In the, yeah.
I think the game maxes out at 512. But
Sprites?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh wow. Okay, well.
Don't quote me on that though. But
Wow.
so now he's kind of maxed out his overall counter, and now he can go into fever mode, and a lot of the enemies are not going to shoot out gold crowns. Same thing as in the original Deathsmiles.
Okay. So what would you say is the main scoring difference to keep in mind if you're playing Mega Black Label for score?
Oh my gosh! Just
Like,
crank out your overall counter to the max by collecting the items, and because once you do that, then you're basically collecting everything at full value, increasing your score.
okay. So he's really going to be getting crazy scores now that his overall counter has been pretty much maxed out in the next stages?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So it's all preparation.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna typically see in these super plays the player is gonna max out their counter on the second stage, maybe even the third, depending on how good they are.
Mm-hmm. So does the item counter play as large of a role as it does in the vanilla? Because I mean, it seems mostly about the overall counter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would say yes, because you needed to obviously go into power-up mode. Um, it also determines what kind of items that are being produced out of the projectile. If you power up in at 500,
Okay, right,
small items are going to be produced. If you
right,
power up at 1,000, then medium size are going to be
Okay.
produced.
right. Okay, all right. So that answers that.
Yeah.
And you're still going to be wanting to find the right shot types to kill enemies with.
Yes.
In the fever mode, and then in non-fever mode as well.
Yes.
So same kind of concepts remain.
Yeah.
Okay. And he wants these items to break.
Yes, you want to break as many items as you want. It's much more beneficial for you to break the items in this mode, in normal and in power-up mode, because the skulls in this one are worth more than the original game.
Okay, so just skulls are better. All right.
Yes. So like, if you are in normal mode, skulls are worth 3. And so every time when you collect a skull, it's going to add 3 to your item counter. And when you are in power-up mode, then of course, like in the original game, then all items are going to be worth the same. So
what's the number that the 2,000 number next to the plus 10 100,000 referring to?
it's referring to the actual value of the item.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of neglected to talk about this in the first run of the original,
Okay.
but basically,
Not too important, but okay.
yeah, 2,000 is the gold crown. I think it's 500 for a medium-sized item and 100 for a skull.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Gosh, madness. It's like you're watching a movie at this point. Because so much is going on. It's like the slow motion is a cinematic effect. Power up. Oh, and there it is. Yeah.
Recharge and
What?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love this boss.
this is one of my favorite bosses because the bullet patterns are just very intense.
You'd say the bosses provide a much larger challenge than vanilla then?
Yeah, they in level 999 they take a lot longer to die, so you're gonna end up having to shoot a lot more and dodging a lot more than usual.
Damn apples.
The save spot that was usually here has been removed. So you're not able to actually hide under the third bomb icon or whatever you use for that safe spot. So makes it a little bit harder.
So I'm guessing we're gonna get a large chunk of score again from this
Yes.
stage.
Again, yeah, you want to when you get to this stage. Huh?
Just the millions, man. The
Yeah.
millions. Go ahead.
Yeah, like in the first game, you want to get into this stage when your overall counter is max to reap the benefits of the full value of the items.
And once again, this is lucrative because the options help produce those items.
Yeah, and you're destroying them with the correct shots and whatnot.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I think he had a little over 2 billion going into this stage. That's what I saw. So he's about 3 billion now.
Well, I was like, where is he? But he's like hiding behind that foreground rock.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of players use the landscaping to protect themselves. They kind of they actually changed the boundaries of the landscaping. So like if you were to hug a wall or hug the land, the boundaries will actually protect you from the bullets.
Oh, yeah, he was
It's
doing
pretty
that right
hard,
there.
like right now.
Yeah, he was doing that.
Yeah. You're gonna see a lot. I mean,
That's insane.
yeah, it's very helpful but very risky because you have to really hug it to.
Well, he's in that little nook.
Yep. Like right now, where he's in the tunnel and he's just hugging that top wall.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Really takes a little practice on this, on the player's part.
I think last week's episode when I tried to get the safe spot on the Maui Head boss in Gradius 2, but it didn't work. But like all the bullets were like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, the
And
count
then
took
another
out.
Jeez, he's maxed out. Little girls have never been this rich before.
I mean, they're going to be hanging it from like a gold chain.
The crown. Gold crown on a chain. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
It's
Mystery
serious.
will have envy.
Serious bling blinging going on.
And again, suicide is another way to replenish your bombs. So
So when you die, are the repercussions as bad as they are vanilla?
Yeah, well, it's about the same. However, your item counter decreases by 30%, and your overall counter also decreases by 30%. Your overall doesn't go back to 0 like in the first one.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Because it gets so much larger. It would just ruin your run if that happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice, he's in there. That's a good one.
And now he's gonna bomb, and then he's going to go into power-up mode, so that he can get his counter down to around 300. Because the next stage he's actually gonna do another recharge.
Okay, I think you might be a little bit behind. What do you guys? Have you noticed, Jeff?
Okay,
what time
now
are you-
counter is gonna hit 0 right now.
Yeah, you're pretty much with me. I think you might be a little bit behind Tyjet. I think.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll tell you something else. Okay, just power it up for me. You're just a little. I think you're just a little bit behind.
Okay. I think I have it.
Just killed the guy, the big dude. Dogs, birds, life up. Or I mean parfait.
If you do choose to go through the first 6 stages all in level 999, the only life item that is available is if you do the port stage as a 5th stage. That's the only life item that is available to you, besides the one that's in the final stage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get most of the other ones if you're not doing 999?
Yeah, it'll be the same thing as in the original.
Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, but there's another one. That was 2 in this stage.
Yeah. Both of them are gonna refill your life gauge by 1/2.
Okay. And so we didn't really talk about it, but what's the health bar like? Like what kills you like instantly, and like what only damages you slightly? Like.
Yes, 1 point is basically taken. One life is subtracted from your life bar if you hit a bullet or a suicide bullet. If you ram into an enemy and you were not in power-up mode, then you lose half. If you also run into like
That
a
just
boss's, yeah, if you also run into a boss's object, such as the scythes or the pumpkins on this boss, you also lose a half damage.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, sometimes if you want to be tricky, you can intentionally run into something just to take advantage of some invincibility. And that way you only lose half a bar instead of a full bar if you think you're going to get hit.
It's the first cat on STG Weekly. Heard your kitty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you heard that?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty entertaining replay, so that's cool. It's like you just get hypnotized by the amount of items.
Yeah. Yeah, your character is basically just a vacuum at this point, sucking in all the skulls. Just, nom 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 nom. Some delicious skulls.
And that's another change that they did, is that the rate of the area of collection on is bigger when collecting the items. Like the second range is a lot bigger.
Okay.
So it's a little easier to collect the items in this version.
Yeah. So do you think he pretty much has like a route through every stage?
Yeah, I mean it's basically up to the player to figure out what the best route is. I mean, some routes are going to work better than others, but this is basically a route that is
Right.
typical.
Well, I was actually referring to like within the stage. Is it just like kind of figuring out the good positioning for to get all that
Yes.
stuff? Like, can you be a bit creative? I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
as long as as long as you create a lot of items, collecting suicide bullets. Yeah, I mean you can get a little creative on your movements. So
Which is nice.
I mean you're gonna have to find ways to utilize your projectile, using the correct shots to help you score. You know.
I always love the visuals on this boss, just the angry face, just all.
Looks like he's like chewing gum or something. He's like spitting out the bullets or something. Like getting a good bullet loogie ready. Bullet loogie. Doo-doo-doo.
Okay, so from this point on, the next two stages, if they want to see the true last boss, he can't take any more full bars of damage.
So
wow.
he doesn't actually. Are you talking about Bloody Jitterbug?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in order to unlock Bloody Jitterbug, you have to go through the first 6 stages at level 999. Then you have to go through the next 2 extra stages at level 999. You have to no-miss those 2 stages. Then you have to go through the castle at level 999 and no-miss that up to Tyranno Satan.
Jesus.
To unlock it. It is extremely difficult and it's not worthwhile to do this.
Yeah, you need to make Windia your waifu to see that part of the game.
So, are we seeing to see this in the replay, or?
You're not going to see Bloody Jitterbug in this replay. So.
Alright. That's gotta be like its own dedicated thing.
Yeah, it has. You have to really like. It's basically a survival round.
Right, right.
The requirements are so strict. It really is not worth it.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
But hey,
Yeah.
there is an achievement for doing it on Xbox. Although
Of course.
I don't think anyone's in any danger of getting it anytime soon. At least I'm not.
I mean, I have gone through all the. I have like almost done it once, but
Wow.
it's really like it is really enervating trying to, go through all these stages. And Castle stage at level 999 is just demonic.
Right. Well, where is he? Oh, he's against the rock. Oh, he's using the rock trick. Nice.
Yeah, you have to look for the little yellow heart.
It's cute. Yeah, that environmental trick is really nice. I like that. Seems dangerous though. You really gotta know which like a good spot, but I like it. So cool. Like Kay was like, "Oh, you want environment? Oh, here you go. Yay!"
Yeah, because even though there are other horizontal game, Pro Gear, even though you actually saw lots of hills and mountains and forts and stuff in the background, but you couldn't actually run into any of them.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big change here. I don't know what a Pro Gear would have been like with that. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so he's going to suicide on this boss so that he can actually reset the rank back to default rank for the next 2 stages. And to replenish the bombs.
Do you mean non-level 99, or you mean like just another an overall rank difficulty?
It's an overall rank. There isn't, for the exit stages, there isn't really like a level 1, 2, or 3. It's just like it really.
Oh,
the difficulty
right.
is the difficulty is basically determined on what kind of routes you, how you do your routes at the beginning, like what rank you select.
So you do not go back to level 3 for dying on these EX or final stages.
So if you die during, so if let's just say that if he no misses this, like if he doesn't die, then he'll automatically unlock the ice stage and the castle to level 999.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you.
So it's here that if he died, he would not unlock those.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you play them at level 3 then? Because that's what someone was suggesting.
You would play them at like basically death mode level 2 on the default rank.
Oh, okay. I see. So this stage is kind of important. Well,
Yeah.
it's pretty important. Jeez. I just love it when the whole screen is just glowing. It's like, yeah. It's almost Daifukatsu status at this point.
Yeah, it's very. Oh, sorry.
So many items in that game too. Or points. Yeah, it's a really visually appealing game.
Yeah, if you see some of the items just falling off the screen, you'll know exactly where you're losing score, and that's when you have to kind of adjust your gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skulls will only sit on the ground for so long before they disappear.
You did.
Oh, that was kind of nice timing, because all the bullets will also cancel when your counter hits 0. There, when your hyper runs out.
Oh. Wow.
Kind of really have to control your counter on this to have like a good to actually do your recharges.
So you're doing a lot more of the item recharges in Mega Black compared to Vanilla. Would you say that?
Yeah.
That's cool because the recharge was it's pretty important in Vanilla, but it seems like it's just another trick that you really got to utilize in this one now.
This canyon boss is also impossible.
Oh yeah. Round 2. Oh my god. It's like, yeah, do something about that.
I really don't know how anybody can dodge this without, using their bombs and going to power-up mode.
Yeah. Nice spot.
Again, same technique, just hit the dragon on the right side.
While you're in power mode, of course. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Because if you're in power mode, you are you have twice as much firepower. Granted that you power up at 1,000.
Man, crazy. That point. I actually see outside of the cave in that background. That was kind of cool. Never noticed that. Like a nice little lake out there. Alright, the new stage.
Yay. So note we've got 8.4 billion going in. So, yeah, just make a mental note of that.
And if you notice, the stage is not in level 999 because he suicided in the canyon. So the stage kind of defaults back to its original rank.
Okay. Is it because the stage is just too crazy on 999? Like as far as difficulty, or
no?
How is that?
In level 999, the amount of suicide bullets are not that common. There's more suicide bullets in the default rank for the X stages.
Yeah.
So the more suicide bullets there are, the more that you can collect them and add to your score. I mean, especially these IV nests, if you destroy them, it is a lot of points. Mm-hmm. And then level 999, if you destroy the IV nests, they don't even give out suicide bullets.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the suicide bullets in Mega Black Label. I always thought they didn't really give you many points, but is it because his overall counter is in Fever that the suicide bullets now give points, or are you clarifying that?
It's kind of complex to describe, but I'll try to make it as simple as I can.
Okay.
But basically, if you are not in Fever mode, then any suicide bullets that you collect is going to be 1/10 of your counter, of your overall counter. So let's just say that if you collect one suicide bullet and your overall counter is at, I don't know, 70,000, then it's going to be 100 plus 7,000, right? But if you're in Fever mode and you have your counter mode, you have your overall at maximum, then every bullet that you collect, every suicide bullet that you collect is going to be worth 100 plus 100,000, the full value of the
full
overall
value.
counter. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. Okay, so it does. Cool.
So hence, this is the reason why I say that, like, in the very beginning, where you see these players kind of grinding it out in the first two stages, is because of this reason.
Because now that they have the overall counter, now this will be actually fruitful to go back to level 3.
Yeah.
Okay. 2.
Yeah, those enemies there were those like a space jellyfish or something.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're cool. Because why not? I mean, they're creepy. I mean...
Yeah. Also, when you look at the walls in this stage, all the little chunks of ice everywhere, those are all destroyable, and will give you suicide bullets and stuff. So, like Raiki's doing that. So that's why this stage is worth so many points, I think, because everything produces bullets everywhere.
Yeah, on that note, the ice crystals don't hurt you in normal or power-up mode, so feel free to, go into them.
Oh, cool, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Mm-hmm. If you are in Fever mode and you lockshot these jellyfish, you can actually do a full recharge on them, which is very helpful.
What is it, like the fucking swimming team of mermen just coming? The whole team.
I didn't realize you could go that far into the terrain in this section.
Oh yeah, those skulls. Now this reminds me of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. If you remembered the snow stage has those icicle walls. I swear this game kind of references some of the various kind of gothic things. I mean, it's cool. We were joking before the show that we wanted Arthur as a DLC in this game.
There you go.
Because I mean, he's used to, you know, getting into crazy situations, so he'll fit right in.
Okay, yeah, we're up to 12 billion now, so that was about a third of his score right there on that stage.
Yeah, with this stage, you could easily get an easy 4 billion if you're really good.
I would consider that 12 billion now. Okay. I had to count the digits.
Silly Cave, give us some commas.
Yeah.
Or, actually, most of the ones in Japan, like when you play Giga Wing and stuff like that, they kind of delineated every 4 numbers instead of every 3.
That looked pretty tricky to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Nice.
Yeah, you have to watch out for the crystals in this boss, because if you shoot them, it'll shoot out suicide bullets.
Do 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 do. Last stage, yeah. Time for it to get real.
Yeah. When you play both of the bonus stages of this game, like, what, an hour long or so?
Yeah, this replay had like an extra, so yeah, like extra like 10 minutes added onto it. So it's the extra stage plus the extra slowdown, I'd imagine. Makes it a bit more.
So when you go into the castle stage, you are now like at the maximum rank, just like in the original Deathsmiles. It's death mode level 3.
Okay.
Yep. But if you end up, no missing the 2 extra stages at level 999, this stage would also be at level 992.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because the backgrounds aren't dark and
Yes.
whatnot.
Yes, level 999s for the last 3 stages have to be unlocked, as you can say.
By no missing.
Yes. Again, incredibly hard, yet not worth it for scoring, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the Mega Black label because it's like, it seems like a response to fans complaining. You know, the original was too easy. It's like, oh well, you can make it harder, sure.
Yes, and instead of giving us just a level 4 that's you know, maybe a little bump over 3, no, we're going straight to 999 and
Yeah,
it's into
funny.
like Mushi Ultra style.
Basically, yeah. It's crazy how a lot of the black labels are like, it's like the chains are removed from the scoring system and the game in general. It's like a lot of the much larger scores are possible. It's just kind of nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, the vanilla replay we watched, the total score was like 600 or 600 million or so.
Yeah.
And this one's into the 13 billion now.
I guess it's just because the overall counter gets bigger. That's the main reason.
Yep.
And then plus all the suicide bullets at the overall counter, so 2 and 2 together there. Yeah, a lot more numbers. Cave said, "You want lots of more numbers? Here you go."
Yeah, with that many items, just be glad there's no like rising style item chaining where if you drop one, their value's all reset.
Oh god.
I don't want to think about that.
That would have to be some perfect play.
I think the world record on Mega Black Label is about 15.9 billion points with Windia.
Now, does she have some extra scoring over Sakura?
Yeah, her. If you notice, her projectiles on screen, they don't really disappear. So as long as you have your projectile on an enemy and in the screen, it'll start producing items. With Sakura, her projectiles don't really last that long, and so hence like it doesn't really produce that many items. With Windia, you can produce a ton of items with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like how she just dropped the chandelier on this guy's head. It's always kind of fascinating how guys with swords or like the giant ogre with a club somehow produces bullets flying out of it. It's like the little armored knights come up to you and it's like, well, what are they supposed to do? It's like...
Yeah, I mean, bullets is the method of attack. I mean, yeah. Trying to think of an exception. It's just how angry they are. The bullets come out. So angry.
Right. They've all mastered the Hadoken.
The mini Hadoken. Just a tiny pebble. Looks like he's using the lock shot on these guys to get the big points.
Yep.
It's
Now
a
in
little
the
hard.
first,
Yeah, It's a little hard to tell what shot he's using sometimes because it just gets so busy.
Oh, definitely. And remember in like the vanilla replay that we were watching, he kind of bombed both of those orgs.
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, you were in the original vanilla Deathsmiles. You're very weak, and so you don't kill those orgs in time to create the desired amount of suicide bullets.
Oh.
So, but in this case, you're so powerful, you're able to kill these guys fairly quickly.
I do think it's interesting how the scrolling sways in this stage. I've never really seen something like that before. A swaying scroll.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like you're dancing with them.
I think there was a Castlevania stage like that was in a ballroom with lots of ghosts dancing in the background.
Yeah, definitely. And the first Castlevania, they had the dancers. The arcade one, actually. You can definitely see the Castlevania tones in this. You're in a castle and it's a Gothic game, so it equals Castlevania. So there you have it. Like how there was like that curtain on the top there. Ooh. Oh man, alright. Wrapping it up. Yeah, and we haven't really talked about the story or anything, but I mean, there is one, and I don't know. It's something about just like Jitterbug, he's the father of Sakura.
Yes.
And he pretty much like finds this entrance to the demon world. And I think that's actually it behind him. And he's like the one responsible for bringing all the demons in. Something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the story. And you're just trying to stop him from opening the portal. I mean...
So he probably found some artifact, I would imagine, that allowed him to
So did
do
you
that.
intentionally fly into him there to take the half bar to cancel out the first wave of bullets?
Yes. You would, you're just taking advantage of that extra canceling bullets by taking half damage to delay the amount of bullets on screen.
So he's pretty low.
Well, you'll get some life back here.
Okay.
So again, like, he's trying to like no miss the this boss so that he can gain the extra 2 life items.
Or no bomb.
Tyranno laser. Like a little laser charge up.
Yeah. This is a good technique for this part where you only fire a little bit to get out of the way, because otherwise if you hold down the fire button, you get a rather silly amount of bullets on the screen.
Yeah, even this form kind of reminds me of Dracula at the end of Symphony of the Night, when he's got the two arms.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think of that immediately.
Right. So if Arthur was in this, he'd be jumping on the arms to climb up to the top and hit it.
Yeah. Well, if he was feeling fancy. Well, I guess he had to do that in Super Rules. Oh, man.
So we're almost done with this guy. Almost. But if you happen to no miss up to this guy on level 999, then you would unlock Bloody Jitterbug.
So,
And the only way that you would know is if you unlocked him is if Jitterbug doesn't fall out of its mouth after the second phase.
oh,
Yeah.
he stays in the mouth the whole time?
Yeah. And then at the end, after you destroy Tyranno Satan, he just pops back up.
Does he get big or anything, or?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm big!
Yeah. He always looks so angry here. He needs to eat more or something.
Probably.
He needs a Snickers. He gets angry when he's hungry.
You need some of those life ups. It's parfaits. Let's see here.
So basically, there's like a little secret ending that you can, I guess, unlock. And it's basically, all you have to do is just choose the second option. Or was it the first? Well, basically, you have to choose the option where you have to stay in Gilberado. And if you wait at the end of the credits, then you'll see the final boss of Deathsmiles 2 pop up from the portal. So.
There's a question from the chat. He's mentioned forgot to power up before the Tyranno Satan kill, or do you not get the bonus points for that in Mega Black Label?
Whenever you power up, for Mega Black Label, when you power up at bosses, they don't turn into gold items.
Yeah, I think it's 1.1 mode where if you power up right before the boss dies, they spit out a lot more items.
Alright. I have a question. Like, how does it take a while to, like, I mean, what's it like getting familiar with, like, the hecticness of level 999? Like, you wouldn't recommend, like, starting out at that, like, if you were going to play Mega Black Label?
Yeah, I would totally not recommend it. I would just basically start with, going into level 1, 1 or 2, just to get familiar with it, and then start powering up when you see a swarm of enemies, just to get your eyes adjusted to the hecticness of it,
Right.
and then start gradually going into level 3. If you're playing on the Xbox 360 mode, then you are able to choose level 1 or 2 many times, versus if you were playing arcade mode, then you're only limited to choosing level 1 twice and level 2 twice. So, but basically, I mean, it's just experimenting, pushing yourself to the limit with this game, choosing higher ranks, and such.
Yeah, it seems there's a lot of experimentation. I mean, I think you can find a guide like kind of tells you what shot to use on the various enemies on the Shmups forum, but it's gonna be hard to remember. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of memorization. It's definitely a lot of memorization with this game, and just with adding to the scoring methods like eating suicide bullets, collecting items, it just gets really tiresome sometimes, but it's fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I think as far as learning goes, this game is really good about that because you can start out playing the levels on the lower ranks, and then as you get familiar with one particular stage, you can up the rank on just that one stage, and you're not like giving the whole game a bump in difficulty, but just the parts that you're familiar with and comfortable with. So from a learning perspective, this game is really good about that, I think.
Kind of gradually tweak your stage order as you go along. Yeah. That is good. All right. Cool. Any random things to talk about? I mean, we kind of covered it. I mean, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the Soda? What length are we at here?
145.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I think that's gonna, I don't know, wrap it up for Deathsmiles. I don't know how to conclude it really. It's I think we got the scoring system kind of figured out. Hopefully, give people might want to play this game again. Of course, if you live in the States, you can get the game for $5 at GameStop. So.
Yep.
So definitely worth your while. I mean, very cheap pickup.
Yes. The sequel is only a download in North America, though.
Yeah, that's on Xbox. I think it's something like $20 or $30, something like that. But yeah, that is on Xbox as well as a download. Have you played the second one, Tyjet?
Yes, I have. Didn't really like the scoring system on it though. So, but
Wow. I think you're the first person I've heard say that because I say that all the time, but most people disagree with me.
yeah, I mean it's not really. Honestly, I like Deathsmiles the scoring system in Mega Black Label than I do on the second one. I mean, you don't. It's not as visually appealing to me because you don't break items that much, and and Deathsmiles is very unique that way. Breaking items on the ground and collecting the lower value. I mean, it's very unique to the scoring system.
Right. Also this game's available in Europe as well. Rising Star Games localized it there, and Axis did it for America. It is pretty cool that this game came out. Like I said at the very beginning, was the first Cave game localized in the United States, and I don't know about Europe. I think,
Or at least on consoles.
on consoles, yeah. So I mean that's pretty significant, but I heard it didn't do too well. I mean, not a big surprise there, but probably Axis might not be doing ports like this anymore. But but anyway,
You can also get a Kai Katana in North America as well.
yeah, that's really awesome too. I never expected we'd get that. Could never expect that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the episode. We're a pretty long length here, so yeah. Thank you, Tyjet Poison, and Jeneki for coming on. I think you did a really good job talking about the game, and it was really awesome. These replays were really cool. Thanks for picking those out. Everything. It was great.
Thanks for hosting.
Thank you.
Indeed. All right. Yep. So till next time on STG Weekly, this has been Deathsmiles on the Xbox 360 from the original of the arcade. All right, that'll do it.